What if I told you that the best way to take control of your life was to lose control over it? There comes a point in every person's life where they are presented with a moment that could potentially transform their life and change its course forever. Not so long ago, my life was presented with one such sliding door moment. It was right in front of me, this new life. The door was wide open and all I had to do was walk through it. But the minute I did so, the minute I walked through that door, the door would slide shut behind me. Let me take you back a little bit. While growing up, I was a shy, curious child and I loved asking questions within the confines of my head. I wanted to know what it would feel like to somersault into a freezing pool, what it was like to drive a car even before I could learn to ride a bike, what everybody around me was reading or listening to. As I grew up, I learned to manage my shyness by placing myself in a tightly knit world of friends, activities, and actions. Ensuring that I was never in an unfamiliar environment helped me build that confidence to speak up more, but it still meant that many opportunities were missed. And every time I found myself in a high-stakes situation, I chose to pass. I chose the comfort of following a well-laid-out path, very much in line with my parents' wishes. The path was safe, the path was logical, and it was beautiful in its own little way. I think you have to understand that it was filled with everything that I liked and wanted. I balanced arts, academics, went on to study my computer science engineering, and then worked at a financial software firm. The familiarity of my world was my safe haven. It helped me form deep, meaningful relationships. It helped me excel academically. And over time, I became a more confident speaker and less uncomfortable with attention. But I wasn't as happy because this comfort was constantly in conflict with my inner child, my curiosity. It was in conflict with my inner desire to break away from expectations and chase that feeling to grow, help, and learn. This conflict brought with it several moments of confusion and anxiety, bouts of which I still face today. But whenever I find myself confused, I love talking to the universe. I love putting out questions for the world to hear. Sometimes I get a reply and sometimes I don't. But whenever the universe does give a reply, she can give a good surprise. Every once in a while, this surprise comes to you in the form of an important decision you must take, a sliding door moment, where you can see that on the other side of this glass lies something incredible, but you don't know how to get there or whether you'll even successfully make it. At this point, you just have to decide whether you want to walk through this door, because when you do, you are walking away from a life that is completely different from the one that you're walking into. I think that in life, everything that you do, every action that you take, every decision that you make leads you to one monumental moment. And in my case, it was Miss India. Because on one side, I'd had my safe, perfectly secure private life filled with friends and familiarity. And on the other side, it was the exact opposite with the immensely public, unfamiliar, larger-than-life Miss India. Miss India to me meant lifting myself out of my little neighborhood in Hyderabad and exposing myself to opportunities I could have only dreamt of pursuing. It meant going beyond the person that I am, beyond my job, my routine, and my loved ones. How do you choose between a life that you love and the one that you've just glimpsed? This life I glimpsed on the other side, it stood for creativity, responsibility, and freedom. It represented not just a crown, but growth, opportunity, and new ways to achieve things. And so it wasn't difficult to decide that I would make this my mission. What was difficult instead was the work that followed after. The courage I needed to build in order to embark on this mission. The courage needed to convince my conservative family that this is what I wanted to do with my life. The courage needed to make my awkward self feel comfortable in front of a camera and millions of strangers. I believe the best way to build your courage is by putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. Whether it's pushing yourself to be on stage, lifting that heavy weight in the gym, confronting your bully, or even asking your crush out on that date. I think every situation helps you grow, and it's a series of uncomfortable situations that helped me grow. And the more courage that I found, the more dedicated that I became to my mission. So much so that I turned into a mad, passionate woman, at least in my family's eyes, because I would spend hours together practicing in front of a mirror, practicing walking, tackling all these imaginary scenarios in my head, and exploring my purpose. At the end of the day, we all pick our battles, and looking back, I feel like this was the most important battle that I picked. What's interesting about sliding doors is that you can never truly tell what lies on the other side. It's about taking the chance irrespective of the outcome, for better or for worse. Either you take that scholarship in a different country or you don't. Either you become a Miss India or you don't. Either you walk through that sliding door or you don't, and everything will still be fine. Now that I've made it through the sliding door and as I work towards Miss World, I consider it my responsibility as a Miss India and as a human being to extend my freedom, my opportunities, and all my learnings to as many people as possible. In a nutshell, life comes in these unannounced sliding door moments, which can set you on the path to new experiences and relationships. Either you choose to lean in and get curious, or you walk away. You decide.